You hate ads? I hate ads. You know what I like? Patreon.com/InkDependence keeps this blog ad-free. Hey folks, I'm Mike, this is InkDependence, and this is the Momento Zero from Leonardo Officina Italiana. This is a pen that I had wanted to get my hands on for a while, and I just kind of didn't. Like, I didn't find it at the pen show, or like whatever happened. And then I said on social media somewhere, "Oh man, that's a beautiful pen. I got to try one of these days." And my friend Tom Otto over at Goldspot reached out and said, "Hey Mike, we got some of those. You wanna try out one of these pens? Like, gotta do that?" And I said, "Yes, absolutely, man, totally." And so he sent me one. So this is, I think, the best looking one. Let's get all the boxes out of the way here. Very nice inner box, inside the nice outer box. And then inside this is another box. So many boxes on these Italian pens, man. So many boxes. 3 boxes. And then inside here, you got a little bit of paperwork. You got this thing that says this is worked from a solid bar, guaranteed for life against manufacturing defects, made in Italy, etc., etc. So that's pretty cool. You've also got this little booklet that shows you stuff about the Momento Zero collection. Mostly it's pictures of these pens, which is pretty cool. This one says Pietro Marino, which is what we've got here. Sea Stone, sublime interpretation of the classic. It's a numbered edition. They're all numbered editions, which is kind of interesting. So here's the thing about them. They're not limited. They're just numbered, which... cool, it's like an extra step they didn't have to do. Let's get this out of here. All right. This is an interesting box. It doesn't have the tray underneath like a lot of them do. So when you try to put the pen in there and then all this paperwork and other stuff in there, it didn't do it this time. Usually this stuff all shoots out and it gets all like caught cattywampus because it hits the spring. But there's some guy in Italy right now who's either very, very good at this or he curses every time he's got to put a pen in this box. All right. So here is the pen. This is the Leonardo Momento Zero Pietro Marino, and this has rhodium trim. Obviously, it comes in rhodium and gold. And man, this is a beautiful pen. Like every time I would see this on the Instagrams or something, I would say, "Man, I got to get one of those." Yeah, I was right. This is gorgeous. I mean, I think the chatoyance in this material is great. You've got this sort of like rusty red bits and these bright blue cobalty bits. It's a thing of beauty, and I think the rhodium trim is the best. I'm a silver trim guy, so if you don't like silver trim, that's cool. I get it. You're wrong, but I get it. So the outside of this pen, totally pretty, very nice chatoyance. Just in like this light, it's even better in sunlight, I think. The top and the bottom have this bit of a conical form to them. It's a pointy dome. You've got that on the top and here on the bottom. You've also got a very nice clip on here. Not only does it have a nice pleasing shape that's not too out there or in your face, just sort of adds to the pen instead of sticking out and making a scene of itself. But it's also flexible enough to definitely go in pockets. It's also got this nice functional little roller here. A lot of these Italian makers will put a roller at the end of the clip, and that is a great idea. Everybody should be putting rollers at the end of the clips, because you want to put on a shirt pocket, cool, zoop, rolls right in, no problem. You've also got several trim rings going on here. Let me open this up a little bit so you can see, but there are 2 on the cap, 2 rhodium trim rings, in this case, gold in other cases. You've also got one here between the body and the section proper. There's a bit of a step here, but you don't really hold that step anyway because it's a long section. And you have another one here at the back. So let's open this guy up and look at what's going on in here. You have some very nice smooth threads here. You can feel them with your thumbnail if you rub past them, but they're flush basically with the rest of the section, which I think is a nice feature. Keeps them from getting in the way and feeling sharp. I do tend to hold on the at least my thumb on the threads here, so that you know, if that was rough, that would be, I wouldn't like it. Right? Also, this has a nice little bit of a slope to it. It doesn't have, as you'll see a lot of times, like a collar here. It just kind of goes straight to the nib, but that's not a problem. You're not going to fall off on the nib, I don't think. It's not a slippery section at all. It's actually a very nice feeling section, I think. Then when you open it up, it actually opens there. You expected it to open here, didn't you? It doesn't. It opens further up. And that's because this is a threaded converter. You want to make me a fan of your pen, like, I mean, I'm going to judge other things, but you put a threaded converter in there, I'm going to be like, yeah, nice job. Nice job. Keeps your converter from falling off if you are carrying this thing roughly or just like throw it in a pants pocket, which I've been doing. This is a rough and tumble pen. It's ready for, you know, whatever, and I dig it. You also got a very nice looking converter here. You got this silver piston twister thing. Also says Leonardo Officina Italiana here. I think it's a nice little touch of class. Looks good. Looks good. Then when you close it back up, you can actually unscrew this bit here too. This is kind of a blind cap situation. Comes right off, and that's the end of that piston there. So you don't have to open this pin in order to fill it. It's almost, I mean, it makes it feel like it's kind of a converter pin, or rather a piston pin, because converters are pistons, y'all. So this is a nice little touch. They definitely didn't have to do this. Most makers wouldn't. But I think that they did a good job here, and I actually didn't know it was there until somebody pointed out. They're like, oh yeah, by the way, you can unscrew that. Because otherwise, like, why would I even try, you know? Because nobody does that. But I think that's cool. It's got these nice metal threads in here. Good fit and finish. It is nice and smooth. It's good. I like it a lot. The nibs on these are Bock nibs, which I'm always a little bit dubious of, but this is a very nicely tuned Bock nib, straight out of the box, very nice, and it actually is marked. These are not stock nibs, these are like made for Leonardo, I imagine. They've also got little wings here, it says Leonardo Officina Italiana here, and the rest of the nib is kind of blank and plain, and I dig it. It's simple, it's understated, it's not in your face, which is tough for a lot of Italian makers to do. So, this is a very nice feeling pen. You can post it. I generally don't. It becomes a bit long if you post it, I think. And I'll have lengths and stuff at the end of the video. Maybe a blooper or two. I don't know, something like that. There'll be some stuff. Stick around to the end. But I don't usually post it. I like it this way. It's got a great balance. That metal converter piston turner dealy at the end gives it a little bit of weight back here, so it really kind of sets down in your hand, and I think it feels great. I've got pretty big hands, but this is a great fit for me. This is a pen that I actually find myself using a whole lot. Okay, so let's see how this writes. I'll give you a little writing sample. Then let's look at it next to a bunch of other pens so you can get an idea of how big this thing is, and then we'll have dimensions and that sort of thing at the end. Okay, paper time. Okay, so this is the Leonardo. Turn the paper, sorry. Momento Zero. In Pietra Marina. Fine nib. It is a steel nib, by the way. This is a steel nib. Which I have no problem with at all. And this nib definitely keeps up just fine, and it feels very smooth. I really like this nib a lot. I also love this ink a lot. This is the same one that I have in my Black Mamba that I did recently. This is Birmingham. Cathedral of Learning. Panther Blue. And despite the long name, I really like this ink. Somebody asked me in the last video what this is close to, and it's pretty close to Monteverde's Horizon Blue, which I think is gorgeous. Pretty close to Private Reserve's American Blue, which is one of my favorites. It's a little bit darker and smoother, I think, than Noodler's Liberty's Elysium, if you're familiar with that one. It's just in this beautiful blue space, and man, it's cool. And it looks great coming out of this pen because it really sort of picks up the blue tones from the pen. And I am not a person who matches inks to pens, but in this case, I was like, well, I got this beautiful blue. I got these beautiful blue chatoyant specks in here. I'm gonna do it. And I did, and it worked out great. So, long story short, this is a great nib. It writes greatly, and I dig it. All right, let's look at it next to a bunch of other pens. Okay, so here we have a whole bunch of different pens of various kinds. Here we have the Sailor Pro Gear and the Sailor 1911. These are both the standard sizes of those pens. We have the TWSBI Go, which is like weirdly thick next to those. The Platinum 3776 Compo Century pen. We've also got here the TWSBI Eco, the Franklin Christoph 46, one of my current favorite writers. This is a Lamy Safari. Then we have the Aurora Talentum, the Lamy 2K, the Momento Zero from Leonardo, of course, the Pilot 823, and the TWSBI 700 VAC. So you'll see it's actually kind of on the larger end of pens here, larger end of sizes, but really, let me shake these down, make sure they're all even. Yeah, really, these are all like, I mean, they're within like a few millimeters of each other, which is, you know, it's pretty close, pretty darn close. But as far as the sizes I like the best, they're kind of up in here. These are a little bit small in this area, but it really kind of matters what it looks like when the cap is off. So let's go ahead and take the cap off. So you can see that with the cap off, these are all a little bit different. So with the cap off, it becomes a fair amount bigger than this one, just a little bit smaller than the Talentum, but right in the same range as the 46 and the Lamy and the Go. A little bit longer than the Kumpo. So if you're a person that thinks the Kumpo is a little bit small, man, try this one out because it is a darn nice pen. I keep saying that. The last few pens I've reviewed, the last two anyway, have been like on my all-time favorites. All right. So it's a good pen. It's a good size. Stick around for those exact dimensions, including things like the pocket depth. When you see that, that means basically from the end of the pen to the top of the inside of the clip. So that's how deep your pocket needs to be if you're going to put this guy in there. This is a fairly deep carrying pocket pen, so you'll need a big pocket, but there you go. All right, so thank you very much for watching this video. Thank you very much to Goldspot Pens and Tom Otto in particular for sending this out for review. I dig it. Go to Goldspot and find it there. This pen runs you $199. Here's a secret though. If you become a patron of mine, go to patreon.com/inkdependence and sign up to support the blog a bit. You will get a fancy 10% off discount code for Goldspot. So, like, you know, you might be able to use it there. So check that out. Go and be a patron. Find me on Instagram as @inkdependence. Go to my blog at www.inkdependence.com, and I will see y'all in the next video. Peace out. Hey Mike, we can make that happen, bro. Let's keep going. Let's go better. Carolina Pen Company. Carolina? No. Still a C though. No, Birmingham.